beautiful fashion designers, you're welcome to this channel. This is Bora of Bora Closet, and if you are new, you're welcome. Kindly click on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified of when I post new tutorials. And if you are an existing subscriber, thank you for joining us again. Thank you for supporting this little girl on your screen. I'm very grateful. Let's do more of this together, please. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how I made this beautiful dress on your screen. Is the color combination for me. I used this dress for my last birthday, which was on March 23rd, and since then I've not had the time to do the voiceover. So here I am, putting all the details together to give you a detailed tutorial on how I made this beautiful dress. And if this is what you're interested in knowing, which I believe it is, please keep on watching and stay tuned. Don't go. I'll be using these two fabrics for this dress. The gold is 1.5 trousers, while the burgundy is almost a trouser. I've used from it already. These two fabrics do not stretch, so for ease of movement, please consider a stretchy fabric. And I'll go ahead to fold the gold material into two because I'm starting with cutting the down part, and I will fold the fabric into two to get the down part. Before folding, I divided my hip by 4 to know what I'm going to fold so I don't waste the fabric. That is how you will not waste your fabric. And I have 15 inches on fold because my hip divided by 4 is 10.5 inches, and I added just 3 inches to that, which is 13.5 inches. So I have 14 inches on fold like this. This is going to be enough, and this way I won't waste my fabric. The full length for this dress is 45 minus my half length, which is 16 inches. That's going to give me 29, and 29 plus 2 inches for joining, that is going to be 31. So I've marked out 31 here, and that line is going to serve as my waistline. This down part is where I'm going to fold in when I'm done sewing it. So I'm marking the hip line, which is 8 inches from the waistline. After the hip line, I'm going to take my dart measurement. I'm using the nipple to nipple measurement to know where the dart will be. That is 8 divided by 2, that is 4 inches. And from there, I'm going to mark a straight line and join it to that 2 inches above the hip line that I have marked out there. And then I'm going to have it like that on both sides, just like we hold that for basic bodies. And I'm going to input my hip measurement, which is just what I folded in the first place, and then the waist measurement also. Don't forget to add the dart allowance to the waistline when you're marking it out. Sorry, this is not showing. It went out of the frame of the camera. When I'm done cutting, you will see what I have there. And I just drew that curve from the waistline to join the hip line. That is going to be my hip curve. And down here, I'm going to take in 1.5 inch, so it's going to be fitted at the down part. And from that 1.5 inches that I've taken out, I'm going to connect from there to the hip line with straight part of my French curve, just like you see me doing. And that is going to give it this shape that you see on the screen. Now I can cut out the front part of my down part. So this is what the front part of the down part looks like, and I'm just going to fold more fabric and place this front part on it, but I'm going to fold more than I folded for the front part because of the zip allowance that I'm going to add to this, and I'm going to just place it on it like this. Now to avoid bulging of zip, I'm going to take 1/2 inch from this 1 inch zip allowance that I've added to this. I'm sorry it's not showing again, but what I'm doing is just that I'm removing 1/2 inch from that zip allowance at the waistline, and I'm going to connect it to the hip line for the back part, and I'm also taking the same 1/2 inch allowance from the down part, and I'm going to connect that also to the hip line there. So that is going to give it a curve, and it's going to give it that fitting at the back also, so there will be no zip bulge with the way I've removed this 1/2 inch from the zip allowance. But I'm going to add the 1/2 inch to the other side here. The 1/2 inch I'm taking out from the zip allowance, I will add it to the waistline on this other side, so they will be equal with the front part, and then I'll draw a new hip line just like you see there. I will also take note of where the dart is for the front so I can transfer it to the back. Just use the chalk to mark out where the dart is. Now I can cut out the back part for the down part, just like you see me doing. So these are the two pieces, the back and the front. You can see the drawing I did the other time that went out of the frame of the camera. So this is what it looks like, and I'm cutting it out also, and you can see the curve it has given it at that both side. I'm going to go ahead to notch the dart part for the front part so I know where to hold on the other side. You know, there are two darts at the front and two darts at the back, and I'm also going to notch a dart for the back part also. Then here I want to extend the dart line of the back pieces also. So this is the hip line that I have drawn out, and I'm going to use a straight ruler to draw a line over that place. Then from the waistline I will extend the dart up to 2 inches above the hip line, just like that, and I will extend the dart like you see me doing. So the front and the back pieces are ready, and I can put them aside to work on the upper part of this dress. I have folded enough fabric for the front part of the upper part, and this is a basic bodice pattern. I have the tutorial on the channel. I'm going to drop the link in the description box. So this is what I'll be using in cutting the front part of the upper part of this dress, and I'm going to be folding it like this. I need the half length, so I'm going to be folding it on the half length and place it on it just like you see me doing, and I'll just add allowances to it. So that's me shifting it up to make sure that the joining allowance down there is up to 1.5 inches. That is what I will use to join the upper part to the down part when I'm ready to do that. This is me straightening it out. You can use office pin to hold this down so that it doesn't move. I'm going to extend this shoulder line by 5 inches. You can use more depending on your preference, but I decided to use just 5 inches for the extension, and you're going to draw a straight line over it just like that. This is what will give you that design at the front of the dress. I'm adding allowances to the side also. I already added to the down part, so I'm adding to the side also. That is 2 inches all round. Just mark it like that. Unless you've added sewing allowance to your pattern, that is when you're not going to add sewing allowance to it. If you have not, please don't forget to do that. Then I'll cut out the upper part just like that. Just follow what I'm doing. I'm not going to cut out the neck line, so I'm cutting that part, that additional 5 inches that I added to it. So this is it right here. I'm going to open this up so that I can finish the cutting. This is what it looks like, and I'll go ahead to cut out the armhole all the way up just like that. I could have cut it when it was on fold, but you can also do it like this. You can cut it when it is on fold or when you have opened it up. So this is what it will look like when we're done cutting out the armhole curve. So I had to place the pattern paper on it again because I want to mark out the triangular part at the front of the design, and I'm going to be making a marking on that shoulder. You're going to follow the part you want, whichever direction you want that triangular part to follow. This is where I want mine to follow, that is on the left hand side. So I want to maintain the shoulder of the right hand side. So I'm going to slant it, coming by 1 inch, slant it, just watch what I'm doing. Then you connect it to the other shoulder like that, and you're going to have something like a triangle that way. So that is just what you're going to do, and then you can cut it out. You will have one normal shoulder and the other one, well, it's not an abnormal shoulder, but the other one will look like that triangular shape you can see there. This place I'm cutting is just to slant it. You can leave it like that, but it's better because it's going to make it slant when you fold it. And this is what it will look like when you are done cutting. That is the shoulder part, so we're going to have to notch that shoulder part. So just notch that shoulder part. So the front piece is ready, so I'm going to be marking the dart for the front part, and I'm following that normal shoulder line. From there I will mark the bust point, and then 1 inch below the bust point my dart will start. That is half inch on both sides of the nipple to nipple measurement, and then you are going to connect it that way to form your dart. That is what you will hold when you want to sew, and then you can go ahead to notch that part so you know where it is for the other side too when you want to sew it. The front is ready now. Go ahead to cut the back piece, and this is the pattern for the back piece. So I'm going to fold it just like I did for the front piece because I need the half measurement. So for the back I'll also be adding 4 inches to the shoulder line to form that design I have at the back. You can add more than that, but 4 inches is what I'm adding to it. Then I'll add allowances to the pattern paper before cutting, and that is the zip allowance. I'm taking away half from that place. Remember, we took away half from the back of the down part, so to make them align we have to also take the same ½ inch away from the zip allowance so that there will be no bulge. For the back piece, I'm marking out the shoulder. Now I can cut it out. Just follow the line that you already have on the fabric. Take note of that place. I'm not cutting out the neckline. You'll see what I want to do very soon. So this is what I have after cutting the back piece, and I'm going to slit that zip allowance open and cut out the ½ inch that I drew out to join the rest of the line. So it's time to transfer the dart onto the fabric also, and I'm just going to mark out the lines on the fabric, and I'll notch it so I'll know where to hold when I want to sew it. These are the two pieces for the back part of the upper part. You can see what they look like. So this is what I'm trying to achieve. I'm going to just fold this in. There is no need to cut out the neckline for the back. We're just going to fold this in to make a V shape at the back. Now I'm going to cut out lining for all the pieces for the upper part. This is a front piece that I'm cutting, and I'm using this fabric as a lining. I have cut the lining for the front piece, and this is what it's going to look like. You're going to also notch the lining to know where the shoulder, and from that notching you can fold it over like this. You see what it looks like already. So we have only one shoulder. The front is one shoulder on, one shoulder off. Then the back piece also, I already cut the lining for the back piece too, and I'm going to also fold that to show you what I'm trying to achieve, like that and like this. That's what they will look like when I'm done sewing the front and the back pieces right here on your screen. So I've gone ahead to hold the dart and turned the fabric out with the lining, just like you can see on your screen for both the front and the back pieces. Because the front piece has only one shoulder, I'm going to do a second shoulder for it with this net, this skein net that you can see here. So I'll just use the yoke part of the pattern paper to cut out the second shoulder for this front piece. So I'm folding the skein net already, and I'm just going to be cutting that part of the pattern paper from the skein net, just like that. Here is the skein net, and I'm going to be placing it under the front part, just like that. And that is going to be the second shoulder for the front piece, just like you see there. At this point, I have joined the shoulders of the front to the back, and this is the result on your screen. The back pieces laying on the front piece with the shoulders joined already. I'll put this aside and fold fabric for the sleeves. This is the pattern I'm using. I have the tutorial on my channel. I'll drop the link in the description box. You can check it up if you don't know how to cut a basic sleeve pattern. So I'll just add allowances to the sleeve pattern on the fabric and then cut it out like this. So from this place, I'm going to be measuring 1.5 inches all the way down from the beginning to the end of the sleeve, and I will cut that out. That is going to allow space for the lacing you see on the sleeves in the picture of the dress. This 1.5 inches strip that I removed will still be useful because I'm going to use this to turn the opening. So I'm cutting it into two, and that is going to give me 4 pieces. I cut the 2 sleeves together. With those 2 strips, I'm going to be turning the sleeve, but that will be after adding the lacing holes, and this is what I'm using to cut the strips for the lacing holes. I'm just going to cut as many as possible because I will need quite a lot of those strips to make it tight. If you don't have enough, it's going to be scanty there, and you're going to have so much space on that open part. So I'm just cutting as many as I can get from the remaining fabrics. These are all the pieces I was able to get from the fabric, and I'm just going to take them over to the machine and sew them over. When I was done, this is what I have. You can see the strips I have. Just one long strip that I'm going to just cut and place as the lacing holes. I'll be measuring how long I want each to be. This is me placing one to see how long I need it to be on the sleeves. And with that, I'm going to cut out for the other part too. I used 12 on each side, so that means on one sleeve I used 24 holes, 24 of these. So for both of them I used 48, and that is what I'm cutting out. So I'm going to be using it this long
cut it out. So I cut out as many as possible. So I just cut the rest out that way with the length of the first one that I measured on the sleeve.
So this is how much of this I have, all of that, and I'm just going to be placing each of them on the sleeve just like that. I'm showing you what I am going to do next on the screen already. Just hold it like that all the way down. I just left 1 inch space in between each of these holes, and the strip I cut out from the sleeve the other time, I'm just going to place it on it like this and use it to turn it. You can use something else to turn it, but I just felt like instead of wasting this thing that I removed, I can just use it to turn it in. So these are the two sleeves, and I was done attaching the lacing holes and turning them over with those strips.
Next, I'm going to be joining the upper part to the down part for both the front and the back pieces. And you can see it right there on your screen. That is the down part. So I'm going to be attaching the front piece to the down piece. And when I was done, this is what I have on your screen. I've joined the upper part to the down part and also joined the side of the dress. So we're almost done with this dress, and we're just going to attach the sleeves to the dress on both sides. Just join it like that till the end of that curve, and do the same on the other side. So this is going to be for both sleeves. And when I was done, this is what it looks like. This is the dress. Now I've attached the zip, joined the upper part to the down part. I've also done the overlocking of the joint part so that there will be no threads pulling off the dress. And this is going to be the end of this tutorial. Thank you for staying till the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. Hope you've learned something from here. Please tell me how I am doing in the comment section and make suggestions. Feel free to make suggestions or corrections or anything that will improve this channel. And on this note, I'll say bye to you. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're yet to, and please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the video, and don't forget to share and turn on your notification bells so you will be notified of when I post new videos. Thank you, and I will see you in another video. Till then, stay good, enjoy yourself. Bye.